Hey, welcome to We Love to Hate Everything. I'm one of your hosts, Jody.
And I'm your other host, Amanda. You switched it up there.
Oh, did we really? Yeah, I don't know. We're just trying to sound profesh, as usual.
Nope. We'll never be like Nick.
Oh, right, yeah. Nick and Colin, best supporting pod. Go check it out.
Yep.
Hilarious. Their after show, their Patreon. I wish we had that every single day.
Yeah. We were Nick's, what's it called? BSA of the week?
Yeah, our seventh heaven on Total Request podcast, Amanda. I'm going into Canadian. I got Anne with an E good on the brain.
Okay, speaking
which was
of
another episode to recap.
This is my big news of the day.
Okay.
So we finished recording yesterday. I went and I blasted out the second episode of Anne with an E. Then I uploaded. I'm like, okay, I need to actually get up there and like marry the tracks and actually submit this. So I did that, and then I went downstairs and I watched the entire rest of the season, season 1, and then 2 episodes of season 2.
Great.
Dude, you better watch it. That second episode, I said this in the group chat.
Oh, I finished the second episode, I'm pretty sure.
Where Anne comes back and Marilla's like trying not to cry.
Yes.
I was like, this is the best acting I've ever seen. And then that's when I looked it up, and all 3 of the leads won Canadian like awards for
great.
I know.
And have you fully embraced the fact that Matthew is Don Kaczynski?
I think he looks more like Michael Caine, but I can see it.
I think he's very handsome and charming.
Sure.
I think he's adorable.
Caine is handsome.
Yeah, so check that out. That's at Total Request Podcast, patreon.com/trpod. It's in the show notes. You know where to go. And actually, huge announcement for We Love to Hate TV on Patreon. I don't even think we've formally announced this. Nor have we confirmed with each other. I'm just throwing it out here now. We are going to be recapping Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it premieres this week. I'm so excited. I heard the first episode is just like knock your socks off.
Oh, I'm going to have to learn new people now.
Oh, it's so easy. Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Because they have new people, I believe, this season. I think there's at least one. I could be wrong. You'll be able to jump in.
Okay. And then we're also finishing out the Teen Mom 2 season. I still don't know if there's a reunion or not.
Yeah, I tried looking it up, and it did say there was a new episode next week, but it could be one of those, kids say the darndest things. Those lame things you missed.
Yeah, things that weren't good enough to make it into the actual show, which on a show like that where nothing's happening anyway, I don't even want to know what hit the cutting room floor on that.
Yeah, that might just be a highlights. Like, if there's anything in a tell-all that's crazy to talk about, we'll just maybe debrief it here.
But why would they not have a reunion?
Because there's nothing to talk about.
But still, things get so heated.
Sure.
Remember when Brianna came out on stage to fight Kale and Chelsea made it about her? I'm pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Pregnant people can't be around anything. You got to really watch out. Well,
Brianna's not going to misdirect and redirect and punch you in the stomach. She's going after Kale.
As much as we'd like to. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I don't want DeBoer heads coming after us in the comments.
DeBoer. DeBella the DeBoer.
Well, hey, speaking of pregnant people, we got some hot topics to cover. I was going to start with the Vicki and Casey White manhunt, which I have been...
I just saw that today.
Oh my God. I've been following this thing so intensely, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. But because we had the great segue of pregnant people, Britney Spears. Now, I just sent you a couple photos that she posted on Instagram.
Right, and I haven't looked at them yet, but my first question to Jody was, what, is she naked or something? And Jody's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I guess that's kind of just a given though.
Yeah, so this is her Instagram comment. You can see them.
What I pictured it being. Yeah, just her holding her boobs.
Yeah, holding boobs together. I mean, she's got a killer body. My God.
Did you see? I mean, I know we both watch SNL every week, but Chloe Fineman. It was a couple weeks ago. The opening, they just had a bunch of celebrities talking to the camera, and she's like, "Hey y'all, it's me, Britney Spears, isn't it?" She said something about how yeah, like, I know everyone's happy that the conservatorship is over, but it was also kind of like, but is no one going to check in on her now?
Yeah, exactly.
And that is, I think, how we all universally feel. Like, we're like, that's great she got out of it, but it's like, oh, but can someone get in there, though?
Yeah.
I mean... Wellness check on this?
Okay, so, what happened was she posted these photos. She looks amazing. And her comment is, photo dump of the last time I was in Mexico before there was a baby inside me.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a weird, gross... I don't like the way that sounds. Before there was a baby inside me. Why the heck do I look 10 years younger on vacation? And then she used those same photos in a carousel, I guess they call it, on Instagram. And it's the same photo, but with 6 different filters. Which I understand. I mean, you and I even talking to each other, we have to be in the perfect light. Which filter is on? I look gross. No, I look gross. No, I look ugly. Right. No, I look uglier. But did you just pull like a full wig out of your mouth? What was that?
This is like a hair that kept like sliding to the back of my throat, and I'm like, I need to get this now.
It's like a full hairball hair extension. I saw that.
I think it was a cat or a dog hair, but
it's like the lint you take out of your dryer.
There's a really funny Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry goes down on Cheryl, and then he gets a hair stuck in his throat, so the whole episode he's like coughing.
Stop it. Oh god, that is so disgusting.
It's funny.
I don't like that at all.
It's funny. Well, I guess I know what my new assignment for you will be for next week.
No. I'm all good. Okay, well, I guess I just had to bring that up because that's in Hot Topics. It's all over page 6 and.
But what are people like?
Radar Online.
Well, first,
well, yes, that was the first thing. Like, okay, so she's posting this, and then she's keeps bringing up like, this was before there was a baby inside me, y'alls. And just, I think that wording, and she's using like the baby emoji for baby, and it's a little...
Are people not believing she's pregnant?
No, I think they believe it now, but now, today, because I think she posted this yesterday, everyone is coming after anyone who's commenting on it. Careful. We're just reporting the news, okay? We're journalists.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this.
Because they're saying, well, Kim Kardashian did it, and no one was saying, oh, you can't post your pregnant body and... pre-pregnant bod. I don't know. If I had a killer body, I'd rarely be wearing clothes. I hope in my next life I come back as Britney Spears' baby. And I have a little sexy baby bod. Oh, here comes Latrice. Here she comes.
She's checking shit out. Hi, baby.
She heard you talking about Cheryl's P word.
Who said?
Oh, okay. Don't like that word. Okay. Let's talk about this Vicki and Casey White thing.
I'm surprised that you didn't text me about it, but I guess you were saving
it. I just had a feeling you weren't following it as closely as I was.
I wasn't following it, but it came up on, I think,
it was all over
Facebook
TikTok
for me or something. Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok's been following it. I've been following it. So it was 11 days ago. I don't know if that means 12 as of today, but whatever. They were on the run for 11 days. They had dumped. Well, first they had a car that they switched out with the police car, the prison car. Well, and then they had that orange Ford Focus or something. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's like kitty butthole right in the camera. That's amazing.
She settled.
And they ditched that car. And then they were found in Evansville, Indiana at this car wash where they were leaving and dumping a Ford F-150, a truck. And the car wash guy was like, why would someone leave this car here? That's weird. And the keys were still in it. And then I think they might have found a gun or a firearm of some sort in there. And so he called the cops and they pulled up the tape and he was like, gosh darn it, I think that could be them people from Alabama. He's like typical Southern accent looking guy who's got to be in cloud nine because that is what I would live for. Having that brush with it. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even tell Dave and the kids this because I knew they'd laugh at me. So I'm just going to broadcast it worldwide instead. When I was at Aldi on Saturday, I went inside.
Find a baby locked in the car. I know that's your dream. To see a baby locked in the car.
God. I would probably like start playing patty cake and be like, where's your mommy? 3, 4, 5, and try to find it. And I would definitely stay with the baby. But no, I was inside and there was a guy walking around and he just didn't look like the Aldi type. He had on a black baseball cap and like black glasses, and he was kind of like bikerish. It was like a black. It might have been a layered, but there was like a black jacket of some sort.
I hope you reported him.
He was taller, but he didn't look quite 6'9". But he had a mask on, and he was just kind of like wandering. He didn't have a cart. And at first I was like, well, maybe he doesn't have his Aldi quarter, obviously. So he's just gonna, walk around with an empty box or something. But he wasn't picking anything up. And I just noticed he was just wandering and wandering. And as we all know, you don't go through Aldi without grabbing a couple things. Right?
Okay, maybe like he just wanted to grab a couple things and like have them in his hands.
No. So then get this. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a little suspicious.
So you're following this guy around, basically.
No, I thought he was following me.
Oh, I thought you were being a Karen.
No, but I was kind of looking. But again, I didn't think he was 6'9", but I was like, oh, maybe he's like hunching or something. But then get this. When I went to go check out Amanda, there was a woman in front of me who was also wearing a mask. And these days in my neck of the woods, a lot of people are, they're not wearing their masks anymore.
Right.
So I was like, I mean, if I were Vicki or Casey White, I would be wearing a mask and I would probably go to an Aldi because it's much less crowded. It's smaller.
Okay. Now,
so listen.
Thought,
There was a woman in front of me. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that this story was unrelated to this and that you were just telling me that you saw a person in a hoodie with a black hat on that you thought was suspicious, so you reported them.
No, I thought
asshole. Okay,
I was considering that it was. I was considering it was them because, well, first I was like, Jody, okay, your imagination is just running wild here. It's just a man in an Aldi. Relax, okay? But then when I was checking out, the woman in front of me that was checking out had like a dirty blonde, strawberry blondish hair, and the curls were almost too perfect.
They're like Robin
and she was
Brown.
A little bit older, more spirally, aka like a wig, and she had on a hat, and she was wearing a mask, and she was a little older, and the guy was on, like the counter where they put like all the extra boxes.
I've never been to an Aldi.
Ooh, okay.
I live in Canada.
They didn't have Aldi in New York.
No,
Aldi, the stock-up store.
Osco. The first time I've ever heard anyone say that is you.
Well, I know there's Aldi in other places besides Chicagoland, but okay. So you have to like put a quarter in the cart to get your cart, and then you get your quarter back. You plug it in.
Yeah, we have that.
So that's why I thought, okay, he was just like walking around. Okay, so then. Sure. At the checkout, basically, he's leaning on, like, the box shelf, waiting for the woman. And I was like, oh, and, like, she was stocking up. Like, truly the stock-up store. And I was like, oh, my God, what if that really is them? But I didn't want to, like, overreact or call in a tip. Because, again, he looked just a little shy of 6'9". But I had it in the back of my mind. So I was, like, waiting for something to come up. Like, oh, they've been spotted in Illinois or Michigan, as you know.
Michigan.
Chicago is in Michigan. Same. And then I would, like, maybe call in a tip line. So not only was I relieved that they were found in southern Indiana, far away from Gary and Amber, by the way.
I was going to ask.
I was relieved that I didn't have to make a fool of myself and call in a tip. But I mean, I'm not going to lie. My adrenaline was flowing.
I'm glad you did it, because you would definitely end up on TikTok immediately being like this crazy bitch and ruin this poor couple's day.
It's like some woman and her son-in-law or something went to go get their winking owl for $3.97, their wine. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that happened, and then what? The next day they're found. If I find out they actually drove through, you heard it here first. I much
they
found
might have. That's kind of near, right? I feel like I drove through.
Oh no,
it's like states.
It's probably like 8 hours away. They're like southern.
What else are they doing?
They're southern tip of Indiana, which is kind of wild that they didn't make it farther. It's crazy that they were still that close. Okay, so what
Wow.
happened was
I
they
have a
dumped
question though.
this
Since you were
truck. Yeah.
following this so closely,
Oh, yes.
was there like a big amount of people following this that were kind of rooting for them?
Oh, no, not that I know of, because he like
Oh, really?
murdered
Yeah, he
people.
murdered someone. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's not just like, oh, you know, your run of the mill
tax
bank
evasion.
robber. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. No, he
but
murdered people.
if he was a non-violent criminal, I would totally be rooting for that.
If it was someone who'd been locked up for like 20 years for marijuana or something,
Right.
oh, let him run free, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, now we're
So
gonna get
tell us
shit
what
that
happened.
I was like anti-narco and now I'm pro-narco. I don't know where to lie on this.
Someone did come into the comments though, and
Oh
or
yes,
into
thank
our
you
reviews
very
and defended
much.
you.
Thank you very
Can
much.
someone defend me for sounding like I'm heavy breathing, and
breathing?
eating and drinking all the time? Yeah, for breathing.
Okay, so listen, so they were found because they left that truck there, which she planned really well that they were going to swap out these cars, and they were
Yeah.
driving a Cadillac. He was driving. They started just chasing him down the road. It ended in a car crash, and right before the police vehicle just kind of smashed into him, she had the gun to her head and she was saying that her finger was on the trigger. He was saying that, and she shot herself. And then, was it just this morning or last night, they confirmed that she had died from her
Yeah,
injuries.
this morning, I think, yeah.
And now there's like a whole thing that even though right after they pulled him out of the car, he said, please go check on my wife. She shot herself in the head and it wasn't me. I didn't do it. And now they're like, well, we have to conduct an investigation to see whether she really did shoot herself or whether it was him. I mean,
Yeah,
if
but
I
think
were her,
as
I'd do
we
the same.
know from being true crime experts,
Yeah.
you can easily tell that if somebody shot themselves or if they were shot.
Well, right. Like which hand? I mean, because if
Gunpowder residue.
yeah, well, and if she was right-handed, the
Angle.
trajectory,
Yeah.
the gun splatter. Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll be able to figure that out. I mean, he's going to be life and for the rest of his days anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think that's why he probably.
I mean, it
was,
does,
like,
but you know what I'm saying.
He's kind of fine with it because he's like, well, I was already in prison, so
Yeah.
just going back to prison.
I mean, if I were her, I'd do the same thing. It's not going to be pretty, her going to prison, being a former prison guard.
Yeah, but she also helped someone escape, so that might give her some clout.
Some street cred.
Yeah.
There's no
She's
way
fighting
I
the
could
good
survive.
fight.
I mean, I have Dare Graduate written all over my forehead. I'm going in there.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
someone's bitch immediately. I'm that dude on 60 Days In that like he walks into the pod, lays his mattress down, and someone just comes over and is like, whoop-boom! They just like punches him in the head for no reason.
God. I really do think that I could survive in a woman's prison, though. I think I can charm the pants off of everyone.
Literally and figuratively, right?
Yeah, but because like look at my trajectory at my job where I came in there. I had 3 people actively trying to get me
You work
fired,
with some vicious bitches, right?
I do, I do, and I was like injured.
She works
like,
at a dog
rolling
place.
around.
You guys like that one?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So and then the people are gone, and I've slowly weaseled my way in and let my real awful personality out, and people seem to like me.
I think I would come out too generous and kind right out of the gate. And that's
I think
a
people
big
would think you were a
mistake.
narc immediately.
Oh, just by looking at me?
Like just you walking in, they'd be like 60 days
Narc! Narc! Fresh meat!
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, the weight I would lose, though, because I'd be so grossed out
Not
with like germs
necessarily
and
though,
everything.
because you're just eating honey buns all day. It looks like.
I don't know if I can eat in a room full of what you know are like booger-covered walls and
Yeah.
farted on mattresses and lots of sex on those. You know, it's like some sweaty prison sex.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well,
I just
let's
don't,
just not go to prison.
I can't survive. I would just stand in the middle of the room until I collapsed with starvation and just exhaustion.
I think the worst part would be pooping in front of other people.
Oh, I mean, I even peeing.
Oh, peeing I don't mind, but somebody with IBS, like how do people with IBS handle it in there? I guess that's why they're eating all those honey buns, because it's like you're not pooping for days when you're eating honey buns.
Oh, I beg to differ. I think it might be the opposite.
Mm.
That's a lot of like waxy glycerin going down your system.
Yeah, well, I've told this before on a pod, or maybe several, but when I camped out for rent, remember this?
And you camped out for what?
Rent.
Oh, okay.
I was a rent head. That's what they're called. That's what the
Got
things
it.
are called. We camped out at Gamage Auditorium at ASU, and we for tickets, and all we brought was just like a bunch of carbs and shit, and like the thing that most of us consumed that night was animal crackers, but it was the frosted ones with the sprinkles.
Oh,
and
no, not the ones that I like. Okay.
I don't even if I see those in the store to this day, I'm like, ooh, because like all of us did not poop for like a good week.
And it was probably fuchsia when you did. Like that hot pink.
I don't remember. But it was similar to after my surgery.
Oh, okay.
The first one I ever
now,
took.
do they really call them rent heads?
Yes.
Why don't they just call themselves renters? Doesn't that make a lot more sense?
So much cooler. It's like trendy and hipstery. Renthead.
Okay, well, renters is just like the obvious choice there, but sure.
Yeah, that culture was nuts.
Have you been following the Johnny and Amber trial? I mean, talk about lit up on TikTok.
I saw where she mentioned Kate Moss and then the lawyer did a fist pump.
Yep. That in her lawyer's face, someone got the lawyer's face, and they set the Curb Your Enthusiasm song to her attorney being like, oh,
yeah. I acted out the one thing at work. Listen, I don't even think Johnny Depp is like completely innocent, but I just think the whole thing is so interesting that I'm kind of obsessed with it.
I'm sure he's kind of an abusive partner in some ways. Yeah. I don't know.
But I do think that she's also like,
I think she's actually crazy. Yes.
Right. So like the one I acted this out at work where she's like, I was walking out of the room and then he turned and then he slapped.
Yeah, no, he slapped.
And he slapped me and then I
opened the door. He slapped me across the face. I turned around and said, "Johnny, why'd you do that?"
Yeah.
And then
the one with her on the couch where it's like we were sitting on the couch. I was sitting on the edge of the couch, and I'm sitting on the floor and I'm thinking, how did this carpet get so dirty?
Yeah. And like that wouldn't happen. A lot of people
Everyone's
are doing
acting
that on
it
TikTok.
On Twitter. Or TikTok.
Doesn't make sense. I think she is nuts. And
right, and I think they both abused each other.
Stuff.
But this is so interesting to watch her kind of scramble her way through this.
Yeah. Did you see the elevator footage that is very Elisa Lam-like?
No.
Oh, God. Okay, so it's really good. So she gets in the elevator and she is going up to Johnny's penthouse. And she's kind of covering up her face. She turns around. She knows that there's a camera in the elevator. So she turns around and then you could tell she's thinking and she's like, oh. So she pulls her sweater kind of up around the back of her head. So you can't really make out that it's her, but we've already seen her walk in. And then she goes into the apartment and then, it's kind of like time lapse forward. The next people to get into the elevator are her and James Franco, who's wearing like a baseball hat, and they both immediately like back in to the elevator and they're covering their faces, and he like backs up into the corner and then she backs up into the corner, so it's like barely picking up on them, which implies I guess that she was cheating on him or something. And Johnny can't stand James Franco, so it's like, why would he be
Because I was gonna say maybe it's just they were going to like visit. Yeah, and then
Johnny wasn't with them, so like James must have been in the penthouse, like waiting for her or something. But he is on the witness list. It doesn't mean that he will necessarily be called, but he is on a list.
For whose side, or is it just the witness?
It might be defense side. But remember, like, if anything comes up on either side, you can call that person as a character witness.
Right.
You can access it. It's all over Twitter and Reddit and all that kind of stuff. There's like
Jody, I was really busy yesterday banging out Anne with an E, so we can blame Jonathan Kwiatkowski
very
for
important
assigning
stuff.
that to us.
Okay, so two other quick things. One of them you actually brought up, and then I was like, what happened? It went nowhere. So I had to look it up. Is Fred Savage?
Oh, that's right. I was like, oh, so Fred Savage is canceled now, and then nobody in the group text
I
acknowledged
did a
it, and
question
we moved
mark,
on
and then I
about
had to
this.
go look,
Okay.
and I saved it. So apparently he was sued again. This has been an ongoing thing that has kind of flown under the radar. So this woman whose last name is, I believe it's pronounced Wang, claimed in her recent lawsuit that Savage, quote, violently struck her in the arm 3 times and yelled, "Do not touch me with your hands," after she brushed dandruff off his suit, and that the actor had a volatile and aggressive temper as it related to
Wow.
the female crew. He's been known to intimidate, bully, and torment female crew members while they were doing their job duties by yelling things like, "I'm not a dog, quit your fucking following me, don't ever even fucking look at me anymore, and get the fuck away from me." Now,
That sucks.
yeah, I know. So there was actually a lawsuit that was filed in 1993 when he was 16
Right.
that
Shrimpy
let's
kid.
see, it was Monique Long filed the lawsuit in 1993 in LA after she alleged she couldn't do her job on the set of The Wonder Years and was fired because Savage asked her to hold her hand, requested an affair, and made sexual remarks. The suit was settled out of court and Savage never commented on it, but the actress Allie Mills, who played his mom on the show,
Yeah.
after the show was canceled, she said she called the lawsuit ridiculous, adding that Savage was the least offensive, most wonderful, sweet human being that has ever walked the face of the earth.
This is the mom on The Wonder Years, not Boy
Yes.
Meets World. Okay.
Yeah, and the one, his brother was the one who played.
I know, but I think he was on a episode of Boy Meets World
okay.
or something. Or maybe Girl Meets World. Okay. Whatever.
I just want to say it rings kind of like the cast of The Cosby Show being like, "Oh, Bill Cosby would never do that." Well, just because he didn't do it to you doesn't mean
Yeah.
he didn't do it to other people. And I think Malala, would beg to differ about being the sweetest, most wonderful, least offensive person on earth. Who else?
Yeah.
Actually, Mother Teresa, she's now problematic.
Are you being serious?
Oh, I'm being dead serious. People are like,
No.
Mother Teresa is a monster. I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
Really?
Yeah. Just pull it up, like Mother Teresa, offensive scandal.
Canceled.
Yeah,
Mother
for
Teresa
real.
canceled.
So I'm like, oh my God. Okay, and last but not
Whoa.
least, I was thrilled to see this. At first, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a April Fool's, like blind gossip does. Get this. Dolly Parton, 76, is set to star in a satirical musical about the efforts to get the beloved food item, the Mexican pizza, back on Taco Bell's menu.
Ooh.
Which I
I'm
love.
surprised that-
I
I'm
love a
surprised
Mexican
Doughboys
pizza.
hasn't talked about this. Everyone is up in arms about the Mexican pizza. being
I
bad.
loved a good Mexican pizza. So it's going to be called Mexican Pizza the Musical, set for release on May 26th, with Taco Bell sharing a playbill. They shared it on their Instagram. Was it yesterday? Parton fans needn't book a ticket to Broadway as the musical is set to be streamed on a TikTok. Doja Cat, I know you're a huge Doja head, another famous fan of the fast food establishment, is also set to appear in the show. It's currently unclear how many songs will be featured in the playful production, which will feature music by Grammy winners Abigail Barlow, not John Barlow, and Emily Bear.
Okay.
I say we have a little Mexican pizza party. Oh shit, but you don't have Taco Bell in Canada.
There's one in Calgary, apparently. One of the
Oh!
listeners wrote in.
Really?
I
Okay,
think
you
it's
gotta
actually kind
find
of by
that.
my work. It's near the airport.
Okay, well, I'm writing this down. I'm gonna look it up after the show, and then I think we should have like a little Mexican pizza party.
And if not, I can just make one. Because you
Oh,
can look
it's
on
not the
TikTok at like people,
same.
but like Taco Bell, you can just you can make all that stuff.
You can't quite get that same beef consistency of
I
your
guess
own
that's
at
true.
home.
That,
That's
like-
very, very different.
That like just add water to this.
I saw
freeze-dried
that.
beef.
Did you see that on TikTok? Someone has the menu of like how to get your beef kind of. I don't know. How do you even describe it? It's like a thick
Gummy?
porridge, like.
Yeah.
consistency, almost like beans. I don't know.
No, I do on TikTok. I do enjoy watching like McDonald's employees showing how to make like a fish fillet or something. I love it.
Oh,
So
got
cool.
a fish fillet. I want one. I haven't had one in so
I love a
long.
fish fillet. Popeyes has a fish sandwich now,
Nope.
and it's good.
I don't think I've ever eaten at a Popeyes. I'm not a huge fried chicken.
Me neither, because it gives me
kind of
acid
person.
reflux. But they talked about it on Doughboys, and they said
It's
it
just
was
like
really
the
good.
consistency. Like you pull back and there's just like greasy giblet looking thing. I don't like it. But I love a fish fillet. And you know that's like the most calorie heavy thing on the entire menu is that fish fillet sandwich.
Really? That's interesting.
Oh, it's like more than the chicken and the Big Mac and all that stuff.
I think it's weird that it's like
it's so perfect. It's
the
like a
bun's good.
baby's butt.
And,
it's just
and I always thought it was weird that it's a half a slice of cheese. Just a half. Like barely, and then like a pickle or something like that.
oh no, then it's the tartar sauce.
Yeah, but isn't there a pickle in it too?
Tartar sauce has pickles in it.
I know, but I think there's a pickle on it.
No, there's no pickle.
There's
I
a
know my
sandwich at
fish
McDonald's
fillet.
that has one pickle on it.
Yeah, I think that's a chicken sandwich. Or some
Yeah,
sort
or
of
the
chicken
cheeseburger
sandwich.
or something. Anyway,
Oh, a
should we talk about-
cheeseburger. Oh, when
Yeah.
someone accidentally gives you like a double pickle that's stuck together and then like two loose ones on a cheeseburger. Oh, yeah.
I love pickles. Let's talk 90 Day Fiance because I just watched my
90
second
Day.
viewing of it.
Oh, same. Okay, great.
I want to ask, who do you think the biggest monster in this episode is?
You want to do a three? Oh, God. To me, there's a... Ooh, this is hard. There's like a three-way tie for me.
Okay, well, mine is like kind of like two people acting as one.
Two people acting as...
Yeah, it'll make sense. What you say.
Okay, should we do a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bilal.
Jibri's parents.
Oh, that was a tricky one.
You agree with that though, right? I mean, Bilal is a monster, obviously, but like this episode, this was not cute. You're not being funny. You did not come off good. I'm on 100% Jibri. Like I was happy that Jibri politely stood up for like awful. I think they thought they were being really funny and that this was going to come off well to America, but it sure didn't.
I just wonder two things. Number one, how did producers push them to that? Because that was very producer, like, oh, how was dinner? What did you think of the meal? How was the food?
Behind the scenes later when they're like, the meal was bad, but not at... Can you imagine
not at dinner.
Someone,
okay, but hold on.
like,
the other thing is,
yeah.
did they add stuff to that package? Like, did they try to add their own seasoning? Did they put... did they spray the pan?
It looks like she was just mixing it around, and like it's not. I know those things.
I've had
like,
those.
aren't...
Dave and I lived on those when it was just the two of us.
They're not delicious, but they're not like
There were some
they are
Bertolli
edible.
ones that were pretty good.
For sure. Like it's not like they could do anything to fuck it up.
You could
also,
add to it, add some asparagus or something like that. But
sure, but they went in under the impression that she actually made that because remember they were like, don't say anything about it being prepackaged. So I think that's even worse. If I came and said like oh, I just made this out. It's a package. All I did was heat this up. Then I think they'd have a little more credence to be like, oh, this is nasty.
Yeah.
But I think they were under the impression
their
she made
behavior
this
is
from
awful.
scratch.
yeah, their behavior is awful. I'm just wondering this though, because if you notice, they started putting the food out on the table before they were even home, in quotes.
Yeah, and it was like congealed.
Yeah, so I think it was probably like, okay, your parents are going to come in and then you guys are going to eat dinner, so get the table all set. And then they were probably telling the parents, like, okay, they made you something, so it's all ready. You're just going to go up there, let them know what you think of the food. This is how producers are, especially on 90 Day.
I understand that,
So
but
I think
could
they
never
might
tell someone their food wasn't good.
Devil's advocate. I should have checked his Instagram or something to see if he commented on it because they did come across like monsters. I'm just wondering.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Oh, for sure. I'm just wondering if they said that. So then when they went up there and she was like, oh God, do I eat this? Like, okay, is this a joke? Like, did they do something to it because you're making such a big deal about them making this meal? So it was like, it's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it was horrible though.
It was really, really bad. Oh,
It was
but the
horrible.
table was just so like sad looking because it was just the plates and then just a huge jug of Simply Raspberry Lemonade, which is
That
one of my
shit's
favorite
good.
mixers for vodka.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's what?
Lit!
You guys, it's just fun to say, okay? And we recognize that that's something that frat guys would scream, or football players, or I don't know, whatever douchebags would scream 10 years ago. But it's fun to say.
Probably 20 years ago. Nick actually sent us an audio message the other day that's like, so what is this
What
lit
is this
thing? Like,
lit?
is this a
Like,
joke?
what-
I'm not...
what
Like, it's
what
not
is it?
anything. There's
Like-
no depth to it at all.
Or like, that's tight.
We're just being
It's fun.
douchebags. I'm sure
That's
it's annoying.
nice.
But it
It's
feels good
very
to say.
annoying. Okay, you check Jibri's Instagram or something, because I have a feeling he might be having to defend his mom here, because she did come across as a complete bitch, and his dad too. His dad was pretty bad. What I wanted to play to open the show was a little song called Rhinestone Cowboy, but I was going to replace the words with "He's a cosplay cowboy." Dun, dun. Like, what
So that's
is
what
he
you're
doing?
wearing to the store? You're wearing that. You're wearing that. You're wearing a bolero and a cowboy hat.
A bolero.
But not
Oh, you
quite.
mean? Oh yeah. No,
Isn't
a
that called a
bolo.
bolero? Oh, a bolo. Bolo.
You
What's a
have-
bolero? Well, I know I have many. Amanda.
Bambalea. No, bolero. A bolero hat. Does
Okay,
that
that's
sound
a hat.
right? Bolero. Yeah.
Sure. I have a. Is it bolo? Are you sure? A bolo?
Yeah. Why does
We're
that sound
we're
wrong?
close. We're close. Sounds
Just because we're
weird.
so fashionable, we're like these words. They just don't roll off our tongue.
But I have one that's a gun holster, and then the little gun comes out of it.
I hate that so much.
I don't know.
Yeah, a bolo
it's like, stick 'em
tie.
up, put 'em up.
It is. Yeah, bolo,
bolo
tie.
tie.
Hey,
Bolo tie,
Ralph
yes,
Lauren
that's
is selling one right now for $225. Amanda,
Uh-huh.
they have bolo ties for cats.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's a hazard, though.
A bolo tie can just go on anything, though.
Free People has a bolo tie for sale right now. That's a necklace. That is not a bolo tie. Please. I'm going to show this to you really
PAIsaac.
quickly. You can't pull off a stylish necklace, and just because it's got a little statement turquoise, you say it's a bolo tie. No.
Yeah, that's not.
But Jibri, this ridiculous costuming that he's wearing, I would refuse to even get in the same car as a man or woman dressed like that.
you need to take off either the bolo tie or the hat, but you're not wearing both.
And the sunglasses for sure. That's a non-negotiable.
Those sunglasses. They're
And did you see
rectangles.
the amount of sunglasses he had on his dresser as he was preaching to Miona about how they need
About
to
not-
be frugal with their money?
Yeah. Not spending unnecessary money.
Yeah, then stop going to Party City and buying yourself costume sunglasses, you fool.
I would say that Miona is one of the most likable characters on the show to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I think she's funny, and
She's
she's-
problematic on her own, but again, like Anfisa, she's showing you who she is. She's not being
But she's
phony.
not even as bitchy as Anfisa. She's kind of funny, and she's like, she seems like she has like a good sense of humor, and she was like being kind of cute about everything. She wanted those corn dogs. I was pissed at him. He's like, we can't be feeding my parents corn
Oh,
dogs.
let her try.
Well,
Why
let her try
can't
a
you
fucking
feed
corn
them
dog.
that? What are
Yeah,
your
why?
parents' dinner standards? Like everything
Your
has to
parents are
be
cunts.
farm to table? What
Yeah.
the hell? I mean, not a lot of people have. Well, first of all, that's a lot of money. Talk about a budget. If you have to go in and cook a meal from scratch, it can be really expensive if you don't have all the little staples
It
and
was actually
spices
a pretty
and all
good
that
idea
stuff.
to get that frozen thing.
I thought
And
so too.
It seemed like they really the mom really thought that she was bougie or something, and it comes across as not great to a lot of people watching the show who have to eat that for dinner.
Again,
and she's acting
those
like
are
this
good.
is just. I know.
There was like a Bertolli one that we used to get. I don't even know if they make it because it's been years since I bought them. Not because I'm bougie or not bougie, whatever. It's just I haven't even thought about those things in so long. So it was just Dave and I. So it was like the perfect size for two people. And of course, we'd have leftovers. Not really. But there was like a rigatoni one that had like sausages and sun-dried tomatoes and shit. And it was really good.
The P.F. Chang's ones are really good too.
Oh, I've seen those. Okay.
They're good.
Like
they
the
have,
fried
orange
rice?
chicken and stuff. And yeah, and then you just add rice to it. But
Okay.
it's good. So the
Yeah,
parents can fuck off.
Didn't come out right at all. What bothers me about Jibri, though, yeah, he's got some sort of personality disorder because he's weird. And he, like, talks like, yeah, so I really don't know what I'm going to do because it's just really hard living at my parents' house. He loves being, like, torn between two women. Fought over. Yeah, with his mom and Miona, because he'll say shit to Miona. Like, she didn't seem that bothered about having to make meals or whatever.
No, she was just like, well, this kind of...
She's like, yeah,
I don't
okay.
like being treated
we
like
can
a
try.
child, but...
Sure, it'll be fun. And then he says later, when she's, like, making the meal, she's like... She said something about the forks. She's like, yeah, these are, like, little kid forks. They're, like, salad forks. Go get the bigger ones. And he's like, well, that's how we're treated around here, like, little kids. She's fine with it. But what he's going to go tell his mom...
Just making fun of the forks.
He's going to go tell his mom, oh, I mean, she just feels like, you're treating us like kids around here.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he's
saying
your
forks weren't good enough for her.
Yep.
And then also between...
Oh.
And this is something I used to say on Teen Mom, Chelsea especially, but when it was Adam, between her dad and Adam, like, fighting, and she'd always be like, well, I'm just stuck in the middle. Yep. No, you're not, because you put yourself there, so this is your doing.
Yeah, you don't have to tell your dad everything going on either. You can handle your own relationship. You don't need to be telling him everything.
But then there's Jibri here going, well, you're both acting like between her and his friend, his godfather.
David. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, you guys need to work this out. You're both acting like children. No, I'm sure that you were just a complete innocent victim in this whole thing. You had nothing to do with this fight.
Oh, it's all because of him, because he says to... he tells us, he's like, I mean, Miona and David, yeah, they don't get along. And then we see him telling Miona, yeah, I mean, when he met you, the electricity went out, and he was like, yeah, she's Serbian, she shouldn't be acting like this. And he just thinks that you're not humble, and he thinks you're bougie. I'm so sure David would love to hear that you're telling her everything.
Yo, for sure.
That's why they're not getting along. Because then, as any person would, when they're around David, they're going to be like, fuck this guy. He's talking shit behind my back. But on the same hand, he's going to David being like, yeah, Miona does not like you. Like, she just wants me, all her stuff. She doesn't want me hanging out with you. Well, yeah, because you're telling her that he's talking shit about her all the time.
Right.
But then we find out the real reason. Amanda, listen, he's a deep guy, okay? Yeah. His friendship with David isn't just a friendship. David is his godfather. You see, he is his kum because he was baptized in the Serbian Orthodox Church.
Now, are they the same age? Like, were they just, like, the same age and they're going to be each other's
David was
godfathers?
a foreign exchange student at his high school. They became friends.
Oh, this happened later in life. Okay, gotcha.
He goes, I mean, I've known David since I was 16 years old. I'm like, okay, so 5 years. You known him 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's cut the shit.
Anything.
Yeah.
I think you and me have known each other longer than that.
Yeah. He's my godfather. He's my kum.
Will you be my kum?
Kum. It's also spelled K-U-M, by the way, which I know you're going to love that.
Oh, like cum?
Uh-huh. I don't think that's what the Orthodox Church means. Your godfather, which I don't even know. Like, is he his godfather? Is it because he was baptized, you had to have a sponsor, that your spouse then becomes secondary to your godparent or your confirmation sponsor?
Well, in my culture, I just assume, I think that I always thought godparent just meant that, like if my parents died,
originally, yeah, but now it's like they're going to make sure that you keep in the Catholic way, you know?
Right.
I'm looking up kum in the Serbian wedding. The kum in the Serbian Orthodox Church. Okay, here we go. Many young Serbian men and women, married or not, probably call someone their kum. They might hear someone call their father this, or their uncle or brother or grandfather. But what does it mean? I listen. Reason we didn't know is because kum is actually the singular of kumovi. That's
Right.
why. It's a Serbian word that has a couple accepted translations, godfather and best man, depending on the context. Godfather when the role involves the sacred institution of kumstvov, and the bringing up children in the faith. It just means highly respected in the family.
Okay.
The vital role in the
So more
spiritual
important than
life
your wife.
of a couple and the couple's children. Come on.
She didn't sign up for
now.
that.
Yeah, No, I don't like this. The best
Like, how
man at a
binding is
wedding
that?
and the godparent to the couple's children. That has nothing to do with, like, he has to come first. Okay.
He's my family.
Listen,
my
I
family.
said this before. I get vibes that he has more than just friendship feelings for David.
Yeah, well, but anyway, Jibri is like in his element right now because now he just has everyone fighting over him.
Yep.
But I will say that like I finally liked him a little bit when, I mean, first of all, I felt so bad for her.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And like she's barely eating because she's just looking down. Like that's so mean. That's
Yeah.
so mean.
It was mean and it was rude. I did not like that at all.
And it was not, and they thought they were being really funny and cute. And then his dad said one of the things that irritates me the most is he actually says, "I'm just teasing you," which I think is such a fucking douchey thing to say. Because if you were
was that
actually
fun
really
for you? Was that
Yeah,
fun
that was
for
fun.
you to tease me?
Also, if it wasn't obvious enough that you were teasing me, then you shouldn't, like, it should be obvious enough that you don't have to say it.
Oh, you
that I'm
mean
not
almost
taking
like
offense to it.
Bilal?
Yeah. Oh God. Who do you want to do next, Bilal or the guy?
Yeah, let's talk about Bilal. Why not?
Yeah.
We're already there.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have Shida and Bilal, and he has told her the truth about this hilarious prank of his, and now she's
I
like,
need him to stop calling it a fucking prank. It's
Yeah.
not a prank.
it was like a mean joke.
Yeah.
Pranks
it wasn't
are-
even a joke. It was a test.
Well, and pranks normally tend to be funny at some point.
Funny. Someone laughs at some point.
Yeah, no, this is not funny at all.
Or the person is told at some point that it was a prank, which I still think has not happened yet.
Yeah, I think the prank is on us that he actually lives and owns that house.
I know.
I told you, the house was recently flipped. I guarantee it. And he's probably going to put it on the market and he's just paying the owner's rent while he's on the show to make it look like he's got money. Okay, so we find out that not only did Bilal and his sister know about this prank, the entire family was in on it.
Brothers, sisters, mom.
I hate that. And I want to believe, like, maybe he told them what he was doing, but they weren't, like, in on it. Because his mom and his sister seem nice. Did
Well,
you get
his
that vibe
sister,
or no?
even in that first episode, seemed like, I hope this goes over well. Like, I don't think anyone thought this was a great idea.
Yeah, and Shida is scared shitless. When she was in the kitchen waiting for them to walk in.
The micro moment, right?
Yes!
With
Where she leans on the counter and she's like, God, you idiot, don't do that. Like, oh, like
that was the cutest, the most relatable moment ever. That's when I really liked
Yeah.
her. Also, I've never seen a person as more perfectly beautiful than her. She's so beautiful.
I know.
And she was nervous and like it was, and then Bilal just starts throwing her under the bus and keep rolling over her with the fucking Zamboni machine.
Yep. Yeah, he's like, so I told her about the prank. she didn't like it at all. She walked in the house and was like, you brought me here from Trinidad for this shithole. She did not like it. That's not...
Ugh.
She didn't even, like, really say anything until a couple hours ago to you. She walked in there with no kitchen sink to be seen. Slept in the place.
But in place of that, grass.
And she also said, yes, I love you for you. I just wasn't expecting this. That is what she said.
Yeah.
She called her mom and was like, wow, I don't know who this guy is because this is not what I was expecting. But don't make her look like an asshole. You're supposed to be on her side. Not immediately against her.
He did not need to say any of this. And then he goes, yeah, she just has a really like weird view of...
Oh, yeah. So then the sister says, like, how do you feel about kids? Because, you know, he's got kids. And she's like, no, I love kids. I help raise my sisters. I'm around kids all the time. And, you know, like, I want to be a mother. I would love to have kids. I want to have kids. And then it's just like, a hush goes over the table, like, yikes. And they look to Bilal, and he's like, yeah, I mean, look, you're getting older, which I immediately wanted to just fucking kick him in the groin. You asshole.
Yeah,
you're
and
getting older.
He's talking about her like she's not there.
Yeah, and he's like, and
He's
listen,
like, she just really needs to learn this about
yeah,
me.
we're only on the 9th day of like being with each other, and you know, she says like, oh yeah, if we have a kid, we could just like, you know, pack him up and bring him with us traveling. Like, she lives in a fantasy land when it comes to that.
She's just
that
sitting
phrase,
right there.
She lives in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
Fuck you. She seems to have done pretty well for herself, her 37 years of life.
Sure.
I think she's got it under control. And then he's like, yeah, I mean, definitely some things that we still need to talk about. Well, I hate him.
You got 88 days at this point, so figure it out. And meanwhile, his plate is completely cleared clean, and she hasn't even touched hers. And I can feel that like you're so nervous, and now your fucking husband's
being blindsided,
actively making your family hate you.
Yeah.
And I think that when the family walked into the kitchen and everyone was getting along, I think he hated that.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't want them to get along.
Again, the worlds colliding.
Yeah.
The actual him and the him that he wanted her to think he was, which was this rich, bougie, whatever guy. But then he's also played this prank on her. He doesn't know. Oh God, I just hate him. But she does say, and I give her a lot of credit, almost like Miona, being like, yeah, this is my intentions when I'm coming here. I am being very honest and forthcoming. She's like, listen, he has a way of talking and saying things and turning it around on me to make it seem like I'm the one who has the problem, but I want to have kids and I'm not going to have a conversation about that with him, meaning like he knows I want kids, so that's not up for discussion. But he thinks, okay, well, I'll get her here. She's going to realize, like, having kids is not what it's cracked up to be. It's a lot of work. I can change her mind. Meanwhile, when he says, oh, yeah, I mean, you're getting older. Well, you just wasted 2 years of her life and her fertility then. If you didn't want to have kids, you should have told her when she was 34, 35.
And how old is he? He's only like in his early 40s, right? That's not old
like
for
41,
a man.
42.
Yeah, so you're fine. And your other kids are already grown pretty much, so it's not like you're raising 3 toddlers at the same time or something.
Yeah, no. If a woman or a man says, I want to have kids, actually, did this come up on the ultimatum? Like, I want to have kids, I don't want to have kids, then that should be a deal breaker. Not like, well, I'm just not going to say anything. I'll convince them later on. No.
Yep.
No. God, I hate him so much. Okay, so we have Kara and Guillermo. I think we can kind of knock them out of the way because we got, like, what, one scene with them?
Yeah, and she comes across as very condescending, and she's like, well, okay, that's 1/6 of our budget, okay. I'd be like, do not speak to me like that.
But what did she expect when she child trafficked a 12-year-old across country lines? Are we sure he's 21, you guys? Because he looks very young.
And he does act, he acts he is
a high schooler.
He has a pretty what?
He comes across as like a junior or senior in high school to me.
Yeah, because he's very reactive, like immaturely reactive.
But I sold my bike, so it's my money. So I'm going to buy a bike. Or I'm going to buy a computer.
But he did make a good point. I agree with him in this, too. I don't think that couples should share a computer at all. But, like, do you want to share a computer with Dave?
I wouldn't care.
Really? Because he makes a point. I'm going to end up accidentally fucking something up on your computer, and then it's going to be a huge fight.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm kind of with her on this. I don't like the way that she said it and talked to him like this.
Yeah.
But if you only have $6,000 to your name, she's just starting out as a realtor, so she's not going to be making a ton of money. Ask Leah Messer, right? Oh, God. And he's not going to be able to work for at least 6 months, at least. And you're going to spend $1,000 on a laptop to do
you
what?
think that he wants his own computer so that he can, like,
jerk off,
do some nefarious things?
No, I think he came here and he's like, yeah, I want to go to the Apple store and get a new laptop. It's not something that I could do down there. And I just sold my bike.
$1,000. It's not $1,000. It's like $2,500.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'm with her on this. He doesn't need.
Yeah,
He can
but I think
use
that
hers
he's
for right now.
okay.
Wait
Agreed.
till
But
we
I
get
think
paid
that
from the show, and
yeah.
then you can go get it.
Let's each make our $4,000. But I think that he was seeing a few red flags going off in that scene where he's like, I don't like that she's already talking to me like I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Again, okay, I'm just going to relate my personal experience. Like when my sister's ex would come here from Costa Rica when they would come to visit or whatever, it is a lot easier. And for the most part, it is cheaper to get certain things here that they can't get there. So if you're coming here with a lot of money, or in his mind, a lot of money, I just sold my bike, like, fuck yeah, I want to go get a new phone or a new iPad or laptop, whatever. I'm going to go and get that shit. And he's not thinking, like, in your head, you think, oh, it's America. It's super easy to, like, make money and get a job. Well, not necessarily.
No.
And he knows that she's going to be, he can kind of fall back on her, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like her. Also, these two could just be lifted right out of the show. I'd be fine.
Boring. I just want to know what
boring.
her tattoo on her finger said. It looked like it said hot P word.
Hot pussy?
Yeah. Just try to see if you could see it. It's like on her middle finger on her left hand, facing out.
My friend Zoe, when we did 9 to 5, she had a tattoo that she got with her friends. I'm sure they were like probably drunk, but she has a tattoo like on the inside of her bottom lip that says DTF. And then when we were and then like the whole cast of 9 to 5 went and got tattoos together, and she just got the DTF like X'd out. She's like, this is so embarrassing.
Did she get it too mean down to?
Yeah, because I thought it was hilarious. It was Jersey Shore.
Wow. Well, on Real Housewives of Orange County, Tamra's son got that same area tattooed with Nugget because his girlfriend got pregnant and they called the little fetus Nugget, but then she miscarried. So he got a tattoo Nugget in honor of it.
That's kind of nice. It's a weird place to put it.
If you're going to get a tattoo, honestly, I tell my kids, get it there. You're never going to see it. Who's going to see that?
Yeah.
DTF. Oh,
or you can get a huge life-size picture of your baby on all around your stomach and chest area and rib cage. That's not going to stretch out or in and out.
Done really badly.
I want to see that. I want to see what it looks like.
It looks so busted.
Well, because I mean, just as you get older, you gain and lose weight. It's the worst place.
And
to
if
put
you
a
get
tattoo
pregnant again.
Yeah.
And the skin stretches again and then shrinks back and you're, oh God.
There's got to be a website of people who have had really
the original
messed up
tattoo.
Ones. Oh. Or just like what their tattoos look like now that they're in their like 60s or 70s. I'm sure like they warp like crazy.
Well, there's that joke about, being in retirement homes or nursing homes after the tramp stamp.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of old ladies named like Mackenzie and Ashley with extra E's and IGHs, and they all have tramp stamps.
Yeah. When I got that tattoo during 9 to 5.
What did you get?
Well, I have on one side, like it's not a tramp stamp, but it's like on like almost like a trademark. Okay. Like where a trademark would be. I had one that had.
No. I don't know where a trademark would be on a human body.
But like it's like
lower
above
back,
like one
left
ass
or right?
cheek.
Oh,
lower back.
Yeah, that's where mine is. Okay.
Tramp stamp ish, but over to the
like
side.
Lower
and
hip.
Then, remember we showed each other our tattoos that one episode, and we got like
you did
a message saying that we were too drunk.
Oops, sorry.
They're like, now you're showing each other your tattoos. This is awful. Turn it off. And Amanda's eating popcorn. Anyway, I have a little maple leaf there, like a little tiny one. It's like the size of a thumbnail. Yeah, it's just the maple leaf. And then the other one, this is now I lived in New York. I got a little apple.
Love that.
It was cute. But then I also got, when I was getting the apple done, I had them refill in the maple leaf. Right? So I had these two new tattoos ultimately. And then that
they're
night,
like on the same longitude?
Yeah, just like boom, boom.
Got it.
And then we had a show that night, and I had to put on Spanx. And I didn't even, I put Vaseline over it and stuff, and I had Spanx on. The end of that night, oh dude, like I think Zoe had to help me rip off my Spanx just in one big and then the Spanx, I took a picture of this, it's somewhere on my Facebook, but the Spanx just have 2 tattoos just like on it.
Ooh.
Because it just tore off the whole first layer of skin. So they're my Spanx. I probably still have them. It has a little maple leaf on one side and a little apple on the other. Yeah, still. Like, it was like embedded in there. Because I wore them and sweated through them for like 2.5 hours.
Oh, gross. I remember when I got mine.
It hurt.
I was in Costa Rica with my sister, and I was taking a shower. It was like the first shower afterwards, and I looked down, and I just saw like
Collar.
Skin and ink and stuff. I was like, what the fuck? Like, did they, just psych me out and put some phony whatever on it? But anyway, tattoos, right?
The best place I like my rose tattoo on my wrist. That, like, I can't even feel that. If anyone wants to get like a first tattoo, get one on your wrist. It does not
put it somewhere where you don't see it, just in case you change your mind.
What's wrong with this though?
I'm saying if your first tattoo.
Okay, yeah.
Your first one.
I heard the back of the neck doesn't hurt either. Anyway, let's.
All right, so we have Benny and Ari, Kobe and Emily, or Patrick and Thais.
Is that the new one?
Yeah.
The weightlifter?
Uh-huh.
I really enjoyed watching the whole, like, 2.5-minute sequence of him just blowing out his asshole. Like, this is so unattractive. I mean, it's impressive.
What were you thinking of during those scenes?
I don't know, taking a big old dump.
I was like,
after my first shit.
Like, he has to have some sort of, like, prolapsed rectum.
They have pictures of that. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Like, there are pictures of people that just blow out their asshole.
Like, their colons just fly out their buttholes. He's got to have some hemorrhoids or something. It has to go somewhere. Right? God, I bet you weightlifting competitions like that, there has to be just like a known thing you're going to shit your pants. Just like marathoners and stuff, they just like pee on themselves or they just diarrhea if they have to.
Like Macy when she ran that 5K.
Oh, God.
Pee on herself.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to know what the over-under is here on if I was like, I wonder if Jody's going to say that this person has the LP gene.
Okay. I am very flattered that you picked up on that.
Okay.
I haven't quite nailed down what sort of genetic abnormality he carries, but it's something in like and I don't mean little person. When I say munchkin, I don't mean little person munchkin. I mean his face looks like a Dunkin' Donuts munchkin. It has like a smushed, like a squish face quality. Like a squish face.
He actually kind of looks like Jibri / Andrew Rannells. They kind of resemble each other.
Yeah, it's okay. You're saying I'm squishing it so it goes more horizontal.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I haven't quite nailed it down yet.
He seems nice though, and I like that he just kind of came right out and said that he like did steroids.
Well, he didn't say steroids. He's like, I had some HGH, which is human growth hormone. Okay, so you did steroids.
Yeah.
So your balls are small. So you did steroids.
Yeah.
He and his ex-wife. I mean, they must have been so fun to hang out with. They were both in the gym all the time, weightlifting together. Like,
well, I personally love talking about, eating healthy and working out.
So to go hang out at their huge house that he keeps talking about.
Big house. Huge. All me alone in this big house.
It's a big rice rager.
What's his job now, though? Did he ever say?
Okay, so I figured this out. So as soon as I saw the brother wearing a hat that said Vivint, I'm like, okay, I get it. So, well, maybe not in Canada, but in New York, I'm sure you would drive around. And it's like, you would see the little Vivint stars and everyone's signs in everyone's yards. Look it up, Vivint. Vivint, I think. Yeah, it's like a home security sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Like a wireless cabled hookup system.
Oh, that's right. And then his brother installs it.
Yes.
Right?
So he's a door-to-door guy. He's who you hit the deck when the doorbell rings. Yeah. No one is home.
The second I see somebody holding a clipboard, I'm like, nope.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, we used to, in my old neighborhood, we would have
my mom.
We would have text alerts like someone's coming around. Like, don't answer the door. They're coming. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, you hit the deck. No one has lived in that house for the last 6 months, and no one's going to be there for the next 6 months. Go away.
Has anybody ever liked being on TV more than his brother?
Yeah, at first they're like, oh, who's this? He's like, it's not that bad. I don't got that bad accent. Get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, hey, what you making? The chicken there? You need some salt and pepper, some spices.
Need
you
some
know, I'm just telling you.
mozzarella. It's going in and out from like
God.
a Boston to an Italian to an Irish at one point.
Him and Victoria Messer need to hang out because they're the same level of, I'm on camera, so I'm going to like make fun of the actual person that is on the show.
I'll tell you what, though.
They all come off as really cool.
I like him more than I like Thais. Her voice is going to drive me nuts. She sounds like Larissa of Colt and Larissa. She's
No
like,
one sounds like
he's
Larissa.
like casa. She's like screamy and
It's
screechy.
pretty
I don't
nasal.
like it.
Yeah.
I do not like her at all. She's like, I don't want them in my house. I don't want any parties. You're coming here. He lived here first. So you need to settle
but I
down
wouldn't
a
live
little
with
bit.
my brother either. And the relationship is not, it's not even like, oh, you know, my brother's down on his luck. It's truly just a codependency thing. And she's never
Well, then you talk to him about it. Don't make it like the brother is the asshole. Then you talk to your partner about it.
Yeah, it's always going to be awful. But I mean, this is why these people were chosen.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I get like a smarmy vibe from Patrick. He's like,
Me
I mean, that's
too.
like $1,000 a day that I'm out here. You're going door to door selling Vivint in the day and age where now everyone has a ring cam or a whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something about it. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'm in this huge house all by myself because my wife left me. So let's go outside. We're just going to eat our microwaved rice and that chicken and canned green bean thing, whatever it was that was on the stove.
Totally
was so
canned
gross.
green bean because he said green bean. And then I saw the color of it, and I was like, "That's from a can."
Uh-huh.
And the
It
chicken
was the French
already
style.
cooked.
French
Yeah, the
style
French
canned
style.
green bean. Ugh.
Which I don't mind those. You can like judge those up,
Oh,
but that's
no.
not when I'm making fresh chicken. Well, I know
Ugh.
you're bougie though.
Well,
get it, you're
no,
bougie.
but no, I just never. Always the color and the texture for me. It was just never
Brad
a
used
thing.
to make it really good.
Ugh.
I think if you add a lot of butter to it and just drain the shit out of it, it's
No,
fucking good.
it's
I'm actually
gotta
good.
be fresh.
But he had the chicken already cooked, but then
Yep.
he was pouring it back into the pan to reheat, and I'm like, that shit is gonna be dry.
It's just gonna be like a brick. And then the
The-
canned
the-
green beans. Yeah, you're such a healthy bro.
Health
That's
nut.
so
Yeah.
much sodium in those things.
Yeah, the brother's like, healthy eating, right? Yeah, and then let's have a beer.
And they go out
It's actually
into
not so bad.
I don't know, the bottom of the Grand Canyon or something
Yeah.
out there. Have you heard of a weed whacker? You go door to door pretty often. Do you see how backyards are supposed to look? It looked like it was an abandoned lot that they just found. Like a builder just up and left. That was the model home. They didn't quite finish the back. They put in this fire pit area. In
Oh, they were so
Austin,
proud
Texas,
lighting that
by
fire
the
pit.
way.
Like when they lit that fire pit, they were like, "Yeah,
was like,
buddy."
They've never
Yeah.
sat around that thing.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. They've never sat around that thing. What was that?
My next door neighbor just got 2 Yorkies.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, real fun. It's fine. I don't care. It's my. I can tune out parking so fucking easily.
Okay, well, listen, no fear because Patrick has been to visit Thais 16 times, which is always a great sign that you have to be there that often and you're spending that much money.
But don't you think that's better than the couple that we just did?
That just seems like a lot. A year and
that
a
only
half.
spent 9 days together.
Well, for sure, but I think there's a healthy medium.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to be going down there and staying at hotels
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. You're blowing all your money. And I think the other thing that goes along with it is that she is very needy and she is very jealous and controlling. So like he's got to be there. And he's got tracking or whatever on him and she can track him. But then he's trying to do some promoting and sales. He's like, yeah, so I just pull up this handy dandy Vivint app on my phone and she can track me inside and out. See how easy it is
God,
with
I hate to put that
Vivint.
together. Do you like how the 2 people that were obviously from Central Casting that they met at the bar
Oh, I
got
thought that
their
was his
own
mom.
names? No, at the bar? No, it just said their names. It was like, I don't know, like Tori and David. Bar patrons.
Oh, it resembled his mom, who also looks a little bit like Tanya.
Oh.
Amber's mom from Teen Mom.
No, they just meet people at the bar, and his brother's like, "Hey, so you know my brother here? Yeah, she can just track him whenever she wants." And the bar patrons get their own talking head outside with their own names.
I assumed that was his mom. I must have been writing notes at this time. Jesus.
It literally says bar patrons underneath.
Although I'm not going to lie.
Talking heads.
Right along with catching Vicki and Casey White, I would love that. If I got to be involved in someone's 90-day fiance from afar. I wouldn't want to be on camera,
just, like,
obviously.
Give your opinion on it.
Mm-hmm. I want the hot gossip for sure. Okay, so that's where we are. We'll see. Yeah. She's going to be flying in. Okay, Kobe and Emily. This is all actually pretty sweet. First of all, we see him.
Disagree. She is so annoying. Babe,
I like
you
him.
Get to meet Koban. Babe, we get to meet Koban. You get to meet your son. And he's like having a panic attack in the car. And she's making
she goes, kiss me.
So
give me a kiss. I don't want to kiss. I can't even breathe right now.
Stop touching me.
Yeah.
And she's touching him. She's like unzipping and zipping up his jacket. Just
his NASA
and
jacket.
He even says at one time, "Hey, I'm trying to center myself right now." Mm-hmm. And she is being just
like, but I'm so tiny. My sweater's coming off my shoulder.
My one sweater that I own. That I wear all the way off my shoulder like this.
I don't think it started that way. I think it ended that way after Koban fucking rips her tits out every second.
See, I don't like when a baby can just put his hand right in the shirt.
I mean, it was up and out.
In public.
It was the opposite. You know what? Her boob was the opposite of Kimberly's boob. Kimberly's was down and to the right. Hers was up and to the left.
Like
truly. No, I actually thought it was really sweet. I liked him. I liked.
No, I loved him.
Did you like him in his undies? He's walking around in his little tidy whities.
Yeah, I mean, ew, I hated when they were like making up. She's like, "Ooh, babe, you're ready already." I'm like, I don't need to know that his boner is like.
Yeah, why did the producers do that? They did that with
Alina.
Oh yeah, but no, they did it with Kara and Guillermo too, where they were asked,
I get it.
Like, how many times did you have sex? Where was it? Before you went to sleep or after you went to sleep? In the bed? Oh, so in the shower, and then also 2 times this morning. I don't want to know about married people's sex. Okay, I barely want to know about single people's sex, but no one wants to know about married people's sex.
Yeah.
Gross.
God, and they started off in the shower, too.
I'd be like, I did my hair for this. Like, it's going to get all wet. And then I have to
she really does just own that one sweater, though.
Oh, yeah. She was really feeling it. I think she knew she was going to have easy access, or else Koban was going to stretch out some new shirt. So, yeah, they go over there.
I'd be wearing turtlenecks around that kid all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a natural thing. Breastfeed your babies. It wouldn't be something that I would be comfortable with like my dad and a camera crew and my fiance just having my nipple pulled up just by the nipple skin up and out of the sweater.
The baby's hand is just like searching around inside her
and then his head is just like down right into her nipple. I feel like that would make Kobe uncomfortable. Like, I'm standing here looking at my fiance's nipple, and so's her dad. This is fun. Something we could all experience at the same time. Especially there was an awkward silence. He was like, "Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you." And then everyone's just looking at Koban sucking on that boob.
But I love Kobe. I mean, just he truly was
seems
so
sincere. If he
oh my God, the babe
is a fucking asshole, I'm gonna be so heartbroken.
Me too.
He's got kind eyes. I really like him.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like mad that the kid wasn't like immediately.
No, he
like,
got it. Like, he's a baby. Yeah, give him time. Yeah. He's gonna warm up a little bit. Yeah, the dad's like, he's all yours. We're gonna go back to sleep. We're done. He couldn't say it enough.
Kobe's like, I don't know if this is a dream, and they're like, oh no, it's real.
Hope you got all your sleep because it's been a long 17 months. Yikes.
But whatever.
I thought it was.
I guess their whole storyline is going to be breastfeeding Gate, and also she's so annoying. Shut up.
Is it because we like him? Is that why we find her annoying?
No, she was so much in his space.
And they need to stop saying Koban. They just say the baby's name a lot. Not like, we're going to see him. It's just Koban, and it sounds so similar to COVID.
I know. I could just sense that he was really like trying to just like he was in his head. He needed to have some silence, and she wouldn't stop touching him or reminding him over and over, you get to see your son, our son. We did this together. Koban, you get to see him. Babe, 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 babe,
he was having a panic attack. And I don't blame him. Actually, when they pulled up to her parents' house, well, first I saw the horses in the pasture, and I was like, oh no. And then the view of that house, I'm not kidding you. I'll pull it up because I know the website. It looked exactly like White Pines Ranch, where Buttercup was. That two-story wood panel. Oof.
When I saw the house, I'm like, that's a really nice big house. They have one bathroom in there? I don't believe
Yeah. Oh, I do.
There's got to be like a master and then maybe a communal. But there's no way there's only one bathroom in that huge house.
I don't know. I could see that. Because it looks like it's
stories.
Out in, not wilderness, but it's a kind of rural area that someone probably built that house on their own. They probably had, who knows, whatever, 2 kids. You just build it and...
I mean, I guess. It's interesting. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
That'll be part of their storyline, too.
Yeah. Okay. Benny and Ariella. Did you watch their 90-day journey? I know some people in our Facebook group had suggested
I did. I watched the first 2 episodes, I think.
Okay. How do you feel about her this week, since you've gotten to know her a little bit?
Oh, I don't like her.
Okay.
I didn't like her last week, though, either.
Okay. Good. I want to know, first of all, before we go into anything, why is she wearing Dollar Tree dress-up Barbie earrings?
I didn't notice that. I wanted to know who was doing her hair, though.
Okay.
Is this like an assistant?
Good question. That is Mimi, and that's their nanny who lived with them.
But I guess part of being a nanny is braiding her hair.
Yeah, and Ari said last season that Mimi is her best friend. They're best friends.
Oh, so it's like Mary
friend assistant
M. Cosby.
Yes.
Employing her aunt, but doesn't know anything about her.
Uh-huh. Yep. They're best friends. And it's like, because you're paying her. Well, actually, Ari's parents were paying for her.
My ex-boyfriend, his mom has 2 people that she hires just to be her friend. Because that's how awful she is.
I mean, I'm not above it.
That's a fact.
If anyone wants to pay me, I'll be your friend.
Ugh. You want
for money?
Like, would you, if your mother-in-law was paying you to be her friend, would you take? Is there any amount of money you'd take for that?
Of course I would. Of course I would.
You want to hear something funny? Actually, when my grandma was over, she was talking about how, because she just moved into this like a retirement
assisted
village,
living, sure.
And one of her best friends from childhood also lives there, so she's like she's living out the true Golden Girls fantasy right now. And she was telling me this story, and it was so funny because it's the same kind of thing that happened to you, but knowing that this happened to my grandma in like the 30s makes it so much like less annoying. She's like,
oh, so I'm annoying.
We got married a week apart, and we turns out we bought the same dress, Amanda. Can you believe it?
Her and her mom?
From the Zellers. Down on Main Street. My grandma and her best friend.
Oh, okay.
But they live in Kenora, Saskatchewan.
Cute.
So there's not like a lot of options, but in her head, that's a really cool story that they both.
Well, it wasn't me and my best friend.
Oh, I know that.
It was a year
and it wasn't a coincidence either.
Someone who I married into the family.
Yeah. And
check out Patreon.com.
Yeah. Or you can check out I Did Not Sign Up for This podcast.
That's right.
Me and Jody did 2 episodes with Carling this past month. It was Jody's surrogacies and then horrible mother-in-laws.
Hey, careful. You were talking about that. You too.
Just me.
You too. All right, so anyway, her earrings, you need to look up a screenshot or something because they look, I mean, they were obviously, well, they looked fake. It was like the Queen of England Barbie earrings. They're like these big, massive teardrop-shaped rubies. Yes. Okay. And then she had like...
Oh, no, I can see them.
And then she had on like a, I don't know, Ethiopian flag, casual cotton shirt. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then when Mimi started braiding her hair, you could tell she was like yanking it back. The way she started brushing it, you could tell she was taking out some frustration, which is amazing.
But okay, the sisters are cunts though, right?
I mean, for sure. They don't want to apologize to her. They're like, no, we don't see any need to apologize. She needs to apologize to us.
You threw wine in her face. That's something to apologize
you need to
for.
apologize. Now, at the airport, when they're like, we don't have any need to see her, we don't need to see her, so that's fine. She can stay there. We don't want to, how did they phrase it? We don't want to face her. And I was like, well, okay, I don't think you meant that translation, but yeah, you probably aren't brave enough to face her right now. But then Ariella doesn't want them to see what's his name? Avi. They didn't want...
That was shitty.
It was shitty. However...
They could have walked over to the van, though.
I can imagine, like, if you had a bad mother-in-law, you...
Sure.
Me. Where you would be like, oh... So you don't want to see me? You can't face me? You can't apologize to me? But you want me to just, like, send my sleeping baby out into the cold?
I'm sitting right here in the van, doors wide
come on
open.
over. Come on over and say goodbye then. So I can see not wanting to. I really can. But on the other hand...
Ari came across that bad this episode, to be honest. I feel bad for him, too. He kind of is stuck in the middle.
Yeah, but that's what you get when you go to your sisters and you vent about your wife.
Yeah.
And then you go to your wife.
Don't do it.
And they did throw wine in her face. So, you can't expect Ari to be like, okay, we're all good. Although I think Ari is a lot to handle.
Threw water in what's his face?
Kimbali in Usman's face.
In Soja Boy's face.
Jesus.
Oh, you think that's funny? You think that's funny? This is funny.
And he's like, it actually kind of is funny.
That's pretty funny.
It actually kind of is. All right, now I just want to bring up one thing because I'm a horrible person and I have to say it. I finally figured out what's going on with her, like her head shape. Well, first of all, she has a very small mouth, but gigantic teeth. She has approximately 8 teeth, but they are each the size of like a tissue box. They're just huge teeth and the tiniest mouth. And her face is an upside down equilateral triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Equilateral triangle and then tiny.
And the eyes are a little bit too far apart. Just like a little.
Why would you go on an airplane with that much dark makeup on your eyes on a long flight?
Rubbing it off all day.
Whether you rub it or not, it's gonna fall. And you're gonna be crying, saying goodbye to the nanny who helped raise your son for all his life. And you have on this heavy makeup. She's terrible at makeup. But then when you see her, when she does her talking heads, she's got no makeup on at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like it was a weird flex or something for the sisters, maybe.
She's kind of got a shapeshifter face where she looks different every time you look at her.
She's a Picasso.
Mm-hmm. Picasso? Oh, yeah. I was thinking like a Butterface Mona Lisa, right? Picasso. It changes. I see what you're going for there. Anyone else?
No.
Okay. Now I want munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm definitely hungry, but I also am having an IBS outbreak today.
Jeez, an outbreak. Oh, God, watch out.
I don't know which side to lean on here.
I think you just lean on into it. Because the calories don't count because it's in and it's out. Bada boom, bada bang.
It's just like an open tube from my mouth all the way down to my
Thank God you're not a weightlifter, am I right?
Oh my God. Hey-o. Oh God. There would be poop everywhere.
And that's how we're wrapping up this shitty episode. Hey.
Yep.
All right, check out Patreon, guys. We lowered the price, so it's $10 a month for tiers 2 and up. And remember, we're going to keep recapping Sister Wives and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait. And then Total Request Podcast this week. Yep. We got Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Real Housewives of Atlanta. We just put out Anne with an E yesterday. I don't know if we mentioned at the top of the episode, but we really fucking loved it. Mm-hmm. And what else are we doing? Something else. Oh, a Love Prison.
Love Prison. That's right.
Which is apparently a show. It ran one honkin' season, and it's people getting out of prison. I know. I'm excited. People getting it's like Love After Lockup, but once they're out, they have to live in a cabin, like a desolate cabin, with the partner.
Yeah, it's like Naked and Afraid meets 90 Day Fiance meets Love After
Shining.
Lockup meets The Shining. So that should be pretty fun. And thanks for joining us. Check out our closed Facebook group so we can chat privately. It's in the show notes. And we'll see you next week after you leave us an amazing 5-star review, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry
Come
for
defend
breathing.
us.
Right. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.